Hello friends, today let's talk about something that affects all of us, our future, because whether you're 25 or 55, one day we'll all grow old. And when that time comes, will we have enough to live a life of dignity? Sadly, India's pension system is broken, unequal, and dangerously inadequate. Let's understand why, and what we can do to fix it. The problem. India's pension assets are just 17% of our GDP. In comparison, developed countries have pension assets as high as 80%. Even worse, only about 12% of India's workforce is covered by any formal pension scheme. That means 88% of workers, mostly in the informal sector, are left to fend for themselves. These are your delivery workers, street vendors, small farmers, gig workers. They contribute over half of India's GDP, yet are barely covered. Voluntary schemes like the National Pension System, NPS, and Atal Pension Yojana, APY, sound nice. But together they cover only about 5.3% of the total population. This is not just unfair, it's a ticking financial time bomb. By 2050, 30% of Indians will be above the age of 60. Without reform, we risk massive old age poverty. And if we want to become a developed country by 2047, we cannot ignore this crisis. Why is it so bad? First, the system is fragmented. There are separate schemes for government employees, private sector workers, gig workers, and informal workers. It's a confusing maze, and each scheme covers only a small group. Second, there is a serious lack of awareness. Most people don't even know how or where to enroll. And because most informal workers are poor, they cannot afford to contribute regularly. Third, the pension amounts are too low. Many people receive less than $1,500 a month. That's not even enough to cover basic food and medicine. Fourth, the system excludes millions. If you're not in a formal job or don't have regular income, you're out of the system. And lastly, with fewer young people and longer life expectancy, the math just doesn't add up. Fewer workers will have to support more elderly people. What other countries do? Let's look at what works in other countries. Japan. Everyone between 20 to 59 years must contribute, even self-employed and farmers. New Zealand offers a flat pension to all residents aged 65 plus if they've lived there for 10 years. UK has an opt-out system. Employees are automatically enrolled unless they choose to leave. Netherlands. Their pension funds send yearly updates to workers showing their future pension. India can learn a lot from these examples. What India must do, the way forward. So what's the solution? Let's build a 3-tier inclusive pension system. Tier 1, Basic Pension Guarantee, a flat-rate contributory pension for everyone, no matter what job they do. This ensures minimum financial security for all Indians, especially the poor. Tier 2, Occupational Pension Schemes. Employers should be required to provide pension, just like salaries. It can be mandatory or opt-out by default, so more people stay enrolled. There should be a minimum contribution standard for employers and employees. Tier 3. Voluntary Pension Savings. People should be encouraged to save more for retirement. Offer tax benefits, flexible plans, and market-linked returns like mutual funds. Help people top up their retirement savings based on their capacity. How to make it work. But just building the structure is not enough. We must also fix implementation. Build digital pension platforms, like Nigeria, so even rural and informal workers can enroll easily. Start financial literacy campaigns in schools and colleges, like Australia. Teach young Indians how to plan for retirement from an early age. Mandate annual pension statements, like in the Netherlands, so people know what they'll get. Allow private pension funds to participate, like in Denmark and China, but ensure strict regulation, transparent fees, and safe investments. Invest in targeted debt funds, unlike the US, to offer stable and reliable returns. Friends, a strong pension system is not just about money. It's about dignity, security, and justice for the people who built this country with their hard work. If we want to become a developed economy by 2047, we must ensure no Indian retires into poverty. The time to act is now, because a nation that forgets its elderly forgets its soul. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe.